Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the 1 Point Safety Show with myself, Scott Hartley, and my amazing co-host, Scouse Andy. How are you, brother? You all right?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. How are things with you, mate?
Yeah, good. Busy week, as always. Looking forward to this weekend because I'm off to London to watch the LA Rams versus the Jags. So that'll be an interesting weekend. Got to take the wife over, you know what I mean? And she's got to see Trevor Lawrence in person. So it is what it is.
Yeah, well, aren't you in the top tier, though? You probably see him as a stick man. You know what I mean? Like, kind of
Probably, mate.
like an
Yeah,
inch, like an
probably.
ant on the field.
She'll be like, you took me all this way for this. I'm like, yeah, sorry.
All I can see is his long blonde hair. Can't see anything else.
Exactly. You know it. But no, I mean, to be fair, I do like Wembley because I don't think it matters where you sit. The kind of seats are all right generally. So, yeah, it's not really a great drama there. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good weekend, and yeah, it should be good fun. As always, mate, we start with our sponsors. So, Dunstable Town's FC's Talk of the Town podcast. If you're into non-league football, obviously go ahead and give them a follow. Oddballs as well. You can go across to myoddballs.com if you want a picture of Scouse's face on your pants. By all means, go ahead and go to myoddballs.com.
I think somebody asked about that a while back. You know, what do you mean by pants in the UK? It's actually like underwear, not actual, not trousers or pants like that, like sweatpants. Not like that. No. Actual underwear.
So yeah,
for anybody out there who's thinking, what do you mean your pants? Yeah, that's what.
So we do the logo, we do Scouse's head. We've got my face on there, both of us. Yeah, it's all good. So go across to My Oddballs, have a look at them, and they'll be able to sort you out. And 50% of all proceeds go to men's cancer charities. So go and have a look at them. Also graciously sponsored by Fusion Therapeutics, which is northwichphysio.co.uk. They provide expert MSK assessments and treatments with a focus on holistic care dedicated to improving your well-being through tailored musculoskeletal health plans. The team offers specialist injection therapy and non-medical independent prescribing. So if you're in the Northwest, Manchester or the Cheshire area, give the team a call on 01606 512 013, or you can book online and the team will be happy to advise you further on this affordable treatment solution. Also, finally, bleedingburgundy.com. Go over and check that out. It's a writing format of Commanders News. Lots of writers on there. And you can also join the Pick'ems League if you fancy doing that as well. Pick against me, Jesse, John, Max, everybody else is on there. Yeah, it's still open. You can still win.
Yeah, but a bit late now,
we're
isn't
not that far ahead. Yeah.
No one's catching
through the season.
6 weeks. No one's catching 6 weeks up, mate.
Yeah, you will. It'll be all right. We're not that good. We're not that good. Roster moves, mate. We've got to talk about roster moves first. So in the news section, Commanders announced several roster moves before the team hits the field for its first practice against Dallas. They made the signing of defensive end Drake Jackson, adding the former second-round pick from the 49ers. To make room for him, we initially placed Noah Brown on IR, who suffered a groin injury against the Packers, obviously, in week 2. Hasn't played since. Was limited for the first 2 practices of last week, but didn't practice on Saturday and wasn't active on Monday night. Brown is now out for at least 4 more weeks while he deals with the groin injury. We released guard Tyler Cooper from the practice squad, and we signed guard Julian Good-Jones to the practice squad in his place. Obviously, he spent 2 years with us on and off the practice squad. He got an injury settlement at the end of this off-season from us, and he's now back with us. Jackson signed to the 53 yesterday, and then we placed him on IR today. It was a planned move as he continues to work his way back from obviously a serious patella knee injury that's kept him off the field since 2023. It's almost 2 years to the day since he's seen the field.
Don't we learn about people and torn patella tendons? A la Chase Young.
Yeah,
took him 18 months to get back, and to be fair, he's never the same player. Now, who's telling me that this guy's going to be any good? Yeah, he was second rounder, so you think, okay, this guy's got some talent. You know, and second rounders are very talented guys. This guy's been out for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you know he's going to come back and do anything? And when is he even going to be ready? You know, we don't know. There's no timeline for him. All we know, he's on IR for the next 4 weeks. Now, this is the problem with our team, I think, at the moment. It's like, I mean, fair enough. You know, you're thinking you might want to stash this guy. But the thing is, he's stashing this guy. who's not played in 2 years, who's wanting him at the moment. You know what I mean?
I think there was interest. There was interest, apparently. There's quite a few teams were after him, so I get the move. I get why they've tried to do it. But it does ring a bit.
But how do you know he's any good?
It's an odd move.
How do you know he's still got it?
How
do you know he's still got it? And that's the problem. You know, it's kind of like, oh, I'll take the risk. I'll cut this guy. I'll do this and do that. But the thing is, it's like you don't know what the hell you've got in him. And
it's risk reward, isn't it? And that's what they're trying to tap into that potential and say, well, he is a former second round pick, so he must. Yeah, and
obviously Peters knows him. And that's what he's
of course, because Peters drafted him, so you know what I mean.
So you understand he probably is probably a good player. You know, I've never seen him play before he got hurt. Don't know anything about him. However,
I remember his first game, he got 3 sacks, which you think, okay,
really,
if you can get,
in one game,
in one game, yeah. So you're thinking if you can get back to that level, then we've got
but when you blow your patella tendon, mate,
it's
different, man.
I know.
You know, it's not like an ACL. You know, I mean, ACLs nowadays a dime a dozen, but when you blow your patella tendon, it's a different ball game. So, yeah, I just hope he's got something in the tank, because otherwise we're just wasted. We're just floating around picking random injured dudes and hoping that he's got it still. And I
do find it's a bit of an odd move. I'll be honest with you. I do find it very strange.
Yeah, because you don't know when he is. You don't know when he's available. Like, I mean, if he's only 4 weeks away from being available, then okay, that I kind of understand that move then. But if it's a case of that he's still 6 weeks, 8, 10, 12 weeks, or not even be ready this season, then what the hell the point in getting him now?
I don't understand that one either. If it's more than 4 weeks, there's an issue there, because you're then thinking, well, why have you even signed this? But what is interesting is obviously Peters has seen 3 snaps from Preston Smith and gone, nope, move on.
He was bad to
which just makes me think, well, what are we trying to do here? I mean, James has got it here. This is exactly what I saw as well. So hi James, hi Alex. He said, I was reading the reaction of 49ers fans and they only had one great game and then never played again because of injuries. Exactly.
So even if you somehow got him fit after this 2-year absence, how do you know he's going to last more than one game before he gets hurt again? Yeah, with something else or the same thing?
It's game fitness, isn't it? That's the point.
Yeah,
he's not
played for 2 years.
He's not battle hardened. It's going to be very difficult to do.
I think, yeah.
What we have got is we've got one open spot on the roster left. Traylon Burks apparently came in for a visit and a cup of tea today. We don't know what's happened from that. Yeah, well, that's what they call it, isn't it? I had a cup of tea with the team. You know, we don't know if he's had a workout, but he's came for a visit today to obviously get him looked at for the first rounder as well.
What do you think about that one,
mate? We need the help, and the reason behind this is I'll get into it, which is a great segue. So thank you for that, Scouse. Is health, and especially the health of this wide receiver group. I mean, I'll go through it now. Healthy wide receivers right now. We have Luke, Jalen Lane, Robbie Chosen, Tay Martin, Ja'Cory Brooks, and Jacoby Jones. On the actual active rosters, we have 3 healthy wide receivers. We have 4 on the practice squad. I mean, the way around it, you could look at it, is we're going to have to sign Tay Martin to have him available because we've already used 3 elevations, so he can't go back to the practice squad. You could keep Cosme on the pup. You could use his roster spot on Martin.
Can they do that now, though? That they've already activated him from IR. I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, you can keep him. You can put him on pup.
I thought you can't. I thought once you've activated him, you've got 3 weeks, and he's got to be back to the active roster.
He's got to be back on the 21-day window.
Yeah. So and it runs out this week, so he's got to be on the active roster by Dallas game. So I don't know if you can do a pup after that. I mean, please in the chat, prove me wrong or whatever, but. And I don't know if you can do straight from an IR activation to a pup list straight away. I just don't think you can do it. But I could be wrong.
I'm not sure.
I mean, if you looked into it, like, fully?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. So, because obviously, I don't want to call you out from not...
No, I'm just
trying to call you out. I'm just saying, I just don't think you can do it, but...
I'm not sure if you can. And then that will leave... You only got 2 elevations left then. So, you for the week. So, who are you taking? You bringing up Robbie Chosen... Maybe Chase Edmonds as a running back, because we need help there as well. This depth of this roster is now starting to bite us big time. Health especially. I mean, We've got a question here from Scott G, which we'll get into now because it's pertinent. He said, during negotiations, many fans pointed out to how Terry never missed a game and played through bumps and bruises. Is his absence now due to an unwillingness to play through a minor injury, or is the injury more severe than they're letting on?
Well, I think with that one, I think it's the latter. I think it's about that the injury is worse than we know, because as he's proven before, he's played through injuries many times.
He has played through injuries. Yeah, you're right.
And he got paid, and don't forget he's got his contract now. So why wouldn't he play through it? If he thinks if everyone thought that he could play through it, then he would have played. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not a guy to miss games for the sake of it. I know, all the crap in the preseason. He was. I mean, we knew for a fact he wasn't going to be like produce some real big numbers for us in the first few games, and then unfortunately he gets hurt. But it's kind of for me, it's got to be the latter. It's got to be worse than we think. And I think when we talk about it, we think it's a sports hernia more than a quad injury. And especially that's the reason why he's out.
Especially because when you look at it, it's like, why was he going to initially see
a core specialist guy? Yeah, like specialist for core injuries. It's not. I mean, if it's a quad, it's a quad. If it's a hip flexor, it's a hip flexor. Now, hip flexor is part of the core, sure, but again, is it a hernia? Do you know what I mean? So it's all around that kind of potential, lower abs, top term, hip flexor, rec fem muscle which runs across the quad as well, part of the quad.
I've never heard of that. What was that? The rec fem muscle.
Rec fem.
Wow, never heard of that in my life.
That's it's rectus femoris. That's what it's called. Yeah. So basically,
rectus femoris. Right, there you go. There's a new one.
Basically, it's a muscle.
Anatomy and physiology with Scousey.
It's part of the quad. It's part of the quads, but it's also part of the hip flexor. So it runs into. So it's a two joint muscle which can get hurt. Do you know what I mean? So, so it could be that. Now, if that's the case, he should be back next week. 2-3 weeks is normally kind of okay again. It's just when he opens up, that's when it'll be a problem. When he goes full on sprint, that could be an issue. If it's a sports hernia, then it's going to be the multi-directional change of movement is going to be the problem more than actually sprinting on straight lines. So it's kind of like we'll have to see what he's been doing in practice, and also if he plays this week, because they're saying he could potentially be available. So we'll have to see what he's about.
We will, yeah. That shout out to Burrows, who said he's watching us from training.
Right, fella.
Nice one, Burrows, lad. So I've just put that on there. But yeah, he's sitting watching us from training. So cheers for being with us. I mean, we'll go through the...
So James mentions Jesse thinks Terry's not motivated now to play through injuries. Now, the thing is, I mean, as I say, he got his contract. Okay, it might not be the perfect contract he wanted. But surely you don't down tools now that you've been paid. Do you know what I mean?
No, you wouldn't have thought so.
I mean, and someone like him as well, who is the ultimate professional, by the way. I know he hasn't been... No, he hasn't. He's had bad light shined upon him over the off season. I get it, but you got to go off his 5 years previous of like how he's been as a person, as a model pro, and he has been a model pro. So I expect him to go back to being that model pro. It's
Dude, this is a guy we gave Walter Payton Man of the Year nomination. Not just on the field, off the field. Yeah. He is the ultimate professional person. Everyone loves it. He's always been the man. But yeah, I get it. You're not the man now because Jaden's here, which is, fair one. But you're still going to be wide receivers, cornerbacks. They're all the same. They're egotistical nightmares. He's going to have an ego. He's going to have a I'm the best that's ever played this game attitude. Because if you don't have that attitude,
you're not going to
get anywhere.
You don't have the edge. Exactly, you haven't got the edge. Exactly, and those guys, when they play at the NFL level, it's that 0.5%, that 1% that makes the difference.
It's the mindset, and I don't think that's ever going to change with Terry. So I think even though he's been paid, this injury is more than.
Well, he's proven it last time. He got paid before, and he's still with the model pro. And he played through injuries then. So what's different now? Well, he's getting a bit older. Okay, but I'm not having that. Like I'm not throwing Terry away or anything like that at this moment. It's like I just think I'm blaming. I think the shade that I'm blowing is actually on the actual team and the medical team and what we're actually getting told as a fan base and everything else.
I understand this, and I had this argument with Jesse the other week. Do you think we need to know though? Because obviously you're opening yourself up to say other teams would have to prepare for him. They'd have to, go through film study,
I mean, there is
all
pros
that
and
sort of
cons.
stuff.
There is pros and cons to it.
Do you want them to be absolutely open and honest about everything?
The rule is though, is that the players have to be put on the injured list.
And they are, and he has been.
But with a very vague diagnosis.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, the tick in the box of, well, the players on the injury report and blah, 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 blah. And I get it. And I get it from both sides. But the thing is, though, what you've got to get is it all depends on the player and the actual letting the fans know the real deal. Because if you don't, then you're going to say, "Oh, Terry's just a little niggle, and he won't play through it," and everyone attacking his character. You know what I mean? Whereas if the team went out there and said, "No, he's got a hernia. He's realistically should be out for 6 weeks, but we're going to try and get him back earlier," yeah, then the fans will be on his case, and we won't be talking about him in a bad way, and we shouldn't be. But we don't know. That's the problem. See, we don't know the details, and that's the reason why we're guessing. Yeah. And that's a problem for me. Where obviously I'm interested in that stuff anyway, so I'll obviously want to know anyway. So that's my kind of a curiosity. But in general, that'll also give you an idea of when that guy's coming back. I've got a better idea. Is he going to turn up? Is he going to turn up and actually produce that game, or is it going to take him weeks to get back to normal? Because some players, as you know, Cosme's been out for so long, it's going to take him a while to get back. We know he had an ACL. That's the thing you see. It's like, with that one, ACL. They tell you it's an ACL. So you don't just say knee sprain. You say it's an ACL. So what's the difference with a Jadon injury, which was this, which we think is a PCL injury? Why don't you tell it's a PCL? See what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense to me. It's like you will for one guy, but then for a guy who might a bit more grey area, why not? Like, why are we being told these things?
James is right on what he's saying. It's like the Terry contract hold-up. We didn't know any of the details. All we can do is speculate. But that's it. We're here, this side of the pond, in the UK, doing a Commanders podcast. We need things to talk about too, Scouts. So sometimes, let's just, I get your frustration, and I understand it from a fan's point of view, but I also understand it from the team's point of view. You know what I mean?
It's expectations, man. That's what it is. It's expectations. If you said to anybody, "Oh, by the way, he's torn his quad," well, he's out for 3 to 4 months. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If it's just like, but you only tell us that it's only a quad injury. Well, what's that mean? That doesn't mean shit. That means like, it's kind of in that area. Well, okay. Well, what is it? Is it grade 1, 2, 3? Is it? And I understand you might not want to go into major detail because, as you say there, the team might not want to let other teams know that he's not going to be playing. But the thing is, they find out the day before anyway. So what's the difference there? I've never seen Terry's tape before. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you know what Terry's going to bring to the table. They've seen him play for years. They know what he's going to do. So if he's available, this is what to expect. And the DBs know they've played against him many times before. What's the problem there? Whereas, we'll play mind games with the other team. No, you're not. You're doing nothing. You're just kind of pissing off your fan base who actually want to know and actually help your realistic expectations of when that player is realistically going to come back. But also, is he going to be actually any good when he comes back as well? So,
James says we can talk about how Wiley had an MVP performance.
Yeah, when he got smoked many times, you mean? Yeah, that Joker. Yeah.
And this is absolutely right. Not sure Scouts' blood pressure could take talking about Wiley. We'll get into Wiley in a minute. He got
smoked so many times, man. Mate. Give me Cosme back, even one-legged. Cosme's better than him. So
we'll look at the injury report from yesterday, and we'll talk about that because we don't have today's injury report. All I can tell you from today's injury report is that Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, and obviously Noah Brown, who is on an IR, were not practicing today. We're not sure why, but they were not on the field. But from yesterday's injury report, Dorrance Armstrong was on here with a hamstring. He did not practice. John Bates did not practice, but he was on rest. Zaka was on rest and did not practice. Obviously, Drake Jackson knee did not practice. We know why now. He's on IR. Kinlaw was on rest, vet day. Von Miller, vet day. Deron Payne, vet day. Chris Rodriguez Jr. calf did not practice, so this is rolled on. He didn't suit up, obviously, on Monday night. Debo Heel did not practice. Laramie Tunsil, vet day. Bobby Wagner, vet day. Quad, Terry McLaurin limited. Cosme knee was full. Jaden Daniels knee was full. And Jonathan Jones the corner who we signed from the Patriots, was a full as well. And he is in his 21-day window also. So his window is 2 weeks on from Cosme's.
James just mentioned here, Cam just released the injury report like literally 2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago. Okay, well, if you can pull that up, Scouse, that'd be pretty good. I can try and see who can get it quicker on X. Well, let's just see what we can see. But yeah, man, it's one of them. John Kime, there he is. I will see what he's got.
Might be you that's ahead of me, but
yeah, you might be. So the injury report came out here. So he said, Dorrance Armstrong did not practice today. Terry didn't practice. Chris Rodriguez didn't practice. Debo didn't practice. Cosme was a full go. Jaden was a full go. Zach Ertz was full. Jonathan Jones was full. And obviously Drake Jackson's been to IR. So that is the injury report from Commanders.com direct.
Well, if you think about that, there wasn't as many injuries.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's good.
So
guys are getting healthier.
However, this is what I was saying before in my previous point about the wide receivers. What are we going to do here? You can't sign trade on Burks, say tomorrow, and then expect him to be straight in on you go and play, learn a playbook, off you go. I mean, he's not Baker Mayfield. Let's be fair.
Even Baker struggled, mate. Baker struggled.
At the Rams, he was great.
He
was great in that first game. And you think,
because they made the playbook simple. You've got 20 plays. You just learn those 20 plays.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's going to be tough to sign, say, someone like Burks and then expect him to go straight into it because, like I said to you before, I mean, Ja'Cory Brooks, Jacob Jones, Tay Martin. I mean,
these guys aren't it, man. These guys just aren't it. It's just simple. I mean, you look at the percentages of the receiver play time of that game last week.
Yeah.
Brooks was like number 2 receiver.
Chris Moore.
More. I mean,
Chris
man,
Moore, yeah.
These guys are like this. Like, this guy wouldn't even make any other team's squad. Never mind wide receiver 2. You know what I mean? So what's going on there? I understand we've got injuries. I mean, Debo. I mean, we're going to the game in a minute, but Debo did naff all.
Yeah.
He's playing with a heel injury. Yeah.
Which,
fair
enough.
What we know, Debo Samuel does. He plays hurt because he's always hurt. He lasts a few weeks. He looks amazing, and then he gets hurt, and then he plays like bang average after that. But he still plays fair play because he cuts it out. But he's always hurt. So it's kind of like, okay, we've got Terry's hurt, we've got Debo's hurt. These are your main so-called star playmakers. You're running out of ideas now. We're not using Luke McCaffrey, and I think McCaffrey's actually shown that he can actually do it more. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually been buoyed by what I've seen over the past few weeks. Very good with pump kick returns, and he's been solid when he's actually been asked to play as the receiver. He's come up with some big catches. Why aren't you using him more? Now I understand. I think you said it before, didn't he? Did you watch the coordinator meetings?
Yeah, Joe Witt. Yeah, I watched Joe Witt.
So not Joe Witt. I mean, I'm on about Cliff.
I didn't watch Cliff's one, no.
Yeah, Cliff was just like saying, well, because we're using him as a kick return, you've got to kind of limit his play on the wide receiver side of things. Oh, okay. So, then that makes sense because you don't want to burn him out. You don't want to injure him, overuse him. Okay. But then you're using Chris Moore, Brooks, and these other bums. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, come on. This is the problem here, It's kind of like, where do you go?
So who do we need to question here, or who do we need to? What is the? I'm not saying there's an answer because there isn't an answer. We can't change an entire team in an off season. No. What's gone wrong here? Is it the fact that Ron and the squad then were so poor at drafting that it's left us with absolutely nothing? The cupboard's bare, and that's why Adam Peters has to come in and go, you know what? Everyone's going on 1-year deals. We'll try and catch lightning in a bottle, which we did. And then you're thinking to yourself in this off-season, right, we only need a few adjustments here and there. We'll patch it through and we'll be straight back into the playoffs. And, we're on a roll now. Jaden's on this contract. And then you're thinking now, we've had loads of injuries, which we had none, hardly any last year. And it's like the cupboard is bare. There's nothing left because like you say, you don't want to get to October, and you've always said this, and you're signing bums off off the street who are guards, and it's normally offensive linemen. This year, we've touched wood, we've kind of been okay with offensive linemen, but in skill positions, there's nothing. And it's like, what are we doing? Should we have been more aggressive in the off season? Is it down to Peters? Where do you proportion the blame? I
think there's a few things. I think one of the main ones is the Jaden problem. Now you're thinking, what do you mean he's a problem? Well, him himself isn't, but the situation of that, they realized how good he actually is, knowing that we could really surprise teams if we give him something, though some reasonable players around him. So I know, as you said, we caught lightning in a bottle and we went all the way to the championship game. Yeah, so that sped up everything that Peter's got to think about there. He's coming in going, well, I've probably got 3-4 years here to really draft properly, to get the squad the way it's meant to be. And then after that first season, he's thinking, well, we did really well, and Jaden's amazing. And now what we need to do, we need to win now, because he's good enough to take us there. We just need the team to go with it. Does that make sense? So when you really believe in a quarterback like that, that's when teams go all in, like we've done, and that's why we're the oldest team in the league now. We've gone for all sorts of vets and and unfortunately, we're still inconsistent, and this is the problem, And so an element's got to be on Peters, and an element on the Jaden problem. I say it is a problem because as soon as he gets paid, we're going to be nowhere for a long, long time. Because his contract's just going to kill most of the cap. It is. It's just facts. So
70 mil.
So we're going to be exactly, yeah. So that's another 3 years time, 4 years time. So we know we've got this 3 to 4 year window right now. And you can't afford to go, oh, you know what? I'll just do everything through the draft. I supposed to do it. No, we've got to do it now. That's the reason why they've gone for all these vets. And okay, it hasn't worked out so well just yet. But I understand why Peters has went down this route. So it's kind of like, because you could argue it either way. Because if he went the other way and started just going, well, I'm just going to draft, I'm not going to get anybody, and then I'm not going to do any vets or anything like that, then you'll say we're wasting Jaden's rookie contract years. See what I mean? So either way, you can't really win unless we are winning on the field. That's the only way it works out.
I understand it. He's looking at it and he's thinking to himself, right, if I look at that wide receiver core, well, I've got Jalen Lane, who's going to be pretty good. He's a rookie. Then you go, Luke McCaffrey's going to come on in his second year. I'm happy with that. Then you go, right, Noah Brown, he was okay last year. As long as he can stay healthy, we're good. But hold on, that's what it was. And the emphasis is on as long as he can stay healthy. Then you go, right, well, I've signed Debo for a draft pick. Fine, he's going to do a job for us, which is what you want. That's your official wide receiver 2. And we'll pay Terry, we'll get that sorted, no problem. Then he looks and goes, oh, it's okay. I'll draft a bookend tackle, and I've got Laramie Tunsil. What an amazing upgrade to that offensive line. And then you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not bargain basement shopping, but Kinlaw has actually been a really good signing for what he's given us. Let's be honest here. No one now is looking back at that contract and going, oh, paid him too much money. No, that's not happening. He is doing what he said he's going to stand out to do, and he built it and said we've got to stop the run. So and he supposedly built it to stop the run, which we'll get into. But we are a good team with an elite quarterback. That is it. It's as simple as that.
I think if we had all our players 100% healthy, yes, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. But with the way it is now, as we mentioned before, the depth is awful. We got after you start, say we've got nobody really who can make a difference. Yeah. There's no one coming in going, this guy's really making a big difference.
But you can't do it in the second year, because everybody else has been that first year has been on your 1 year contracts. So you can't, and you can't.
It's hard to re-sign everybody and then get other guys in. That's why there's massive turnover. I mean, that was another problem we were going to have. Massive turnover. We were this. Both years. I mean, last year I think we caught a bit lucky. I think we did. The way it kind of worked out and the way the team just rallied around each other was just like wow, like they played together for years. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were still shite on defense. You know what I mean? But offense, it was a different game. She expected the defense to be a little bit better this year because we thought we got better DBs. And besides these ridiculous one-play wonders, they've actually been okay. They've actually done okay. Do you know what I mean? It's when we start missing tackles and then guys going for 50 yards and shit like that. That's the shit that pisses me off, because that's fundamentals. That's stuff that should be drilled down so easy that shouldn't be happening. So that's the annoying part with me. That's why I blame Whit for a lot of it on the defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Being honest with you,
I agree. Don't forget, while we're here, like and subscribe to the pod. Obviously, it takes you 2 minutes. It's free to do. 10 seconds. If you're listening, obviously give us a like and a review on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Defense, James says defense shouldn't be allowed any rest days to how bad they're playing on all levels. I agree with you, James, completely.
I agree, but I think a certain players should be getting rest days. I think Dewan Payne's one of them. I think he's been great this year. I really do. I think him and Armstrong are really good. I mean, that's another thing with what we have not mentioned yet. We mentioned injuries. You mentioned Armstrong, just like hamstring. He tried to come back in. He pulled his hamstring and he tried to come back in, and he got a sack.
Yeah,
with a pulled hamstring. And now he's hurt it worse. He's probably going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. No, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him on IR next week. I wouldn't be surprised.
Don't say that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? And this is the thing we mentioned about last week. It's like, oh yeah, he's playing great. He's up there with the best sack numbers at this time of the year. He's up there with them all. And then what happens? We can't have nice things, can we? We've got to get something these guys have got to get hurt. So we can't get that level of play anymore, and it's a bit depressing, really. It's a bit depressing.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, right. So we'll lower the podcast tone as we always do, which we're getting into the review of the 25-24 loss to the Bears. We're now 3-3. I've obviously got the two we normally go through, which is what went well, what was poor. Now I've got my little sections, and we can get into them. And you, by all means, go over the top of me if you think anything different. I've got kick returns. I've got JD looked okay at passing, and he had a relatively okay game. And I put Luke and Amos played well, and that is pretty much me for what went well. I mean, kick returns. Luke is basically Mr. 40 now. Do you know what I mean?
He's getting there. He's getting a good field position every time.
Unreal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But how long,
really well.
as you said when you listened to Cliff earlier, how long can that last if you need him to be wide receiver
on the field as a receiver? Exactly, and this has been the problem because you've got no depth. So, and that's the reason why he's getting such a little...
So that's why I initially mentioned earlier, do you elevate someone like Chase Edmonds, who can return kicks and has returned kicks in the past?
It all depends, really, on how you see Bill with his fumbling issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, though,
I'm not saying you elevate him. I'm not saying you elevate him for a running back. I'm saying you elevate him to somebody else to do the kick return side.
I mean, well, we suppose we've got the space. I suppose you could do that.
But it's only a practice squad elevation, isn't it? So you just don't dress somebody.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the practice squad, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Chase Edmonds is, yeah. So we've got three elevations for each person, haven't you? And when you get to 3 elevations, you then cannot put them back on. You've got to either cut them or you've got to sign them.
Yeah, or you got to keep them to 23. Yeah, exactly. So for me, it's why not? I mean, you see, you've got the actual space to bring up a guy. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned before, we've got a couple of spaces even. So it's kind of you could do. I mean, that could be in and about way a smart way of doing it. Because, as you say, you got Chase Edmonds, get him doing the kick returns, and then you can play Luke actually more as a receiver, which might actually help us out on the offense. Because I think that even right now, he's better than Moore. I don't care what anyone says.
100% agree with you.
And last year, I mean, I was ripping McCaffrey. You know what I mean? Because he did nothing, and he was always the 3rd or 4th read. It's like, mate, why aren't you getting into the schemes? Like, what's going on? And now it's different. Like they're using them as the potential deep ball, and then I'd say a key plays. Jaden's looking for him. So for me, that tells me that he needs to be on the field more as a receiver, not a kick-off returner.
Agreed. I completely agree with you.
So I wouldn't hate that idea of bringing up someone like that, Chase Edmonds.
No, I mean, we'll get into it then. Where do you want to start? Because we'll start on what went poor on the offensive side of the ball, I suppose. That's probably as best of space as any. The offensive line was woeful. Absolutely horrible. It's the worst game I've seen Connolly play for us by a mile. Obviously, we're only six in, so I get that he's still inexperienced.
I blame Wiley for him being awful.
Wiley
I think Wiley was
horrendous.
He was
horrendous.
He was horrible. He got toasted all day long, and it's just like no wonder Jaden's running for his life. And
every play he was running.
Every play he was running around trying to do something,
I thought Tunsil was poor though as well.
Yeah,
there wasn't a single person on that offensive line, even Biadish, who was good.
No. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and the thing is as well, is that their pass rush isn't amazing. Yeah, they got Montez Sweat. Don't get me wrong, we all know about Montez, but the rest of it isn't all that.
It's not great.
Do you know what I mean? And we were like, how did they get into the backfield so easy?
Yeah.
Where else went poor?
Defense. Let's talk about it.
No. Stick with the offense for now.
Offense. Okay. Yeah.
Just stick with the offense while we're still talking about it. And
poor
for the offense.
Fumbles.
Exactly. Turnovers. Massive. Absolutely massive. You can't afford to give the ball away 3 times and expect to win a game, especially being 13-0 down as well. And we came back into it. And so Jaden's that pick was poor. That was poor.
Yeah, it was, but I'm going to clap back. Poor. I don't want to be... It was poor. You're right. It was a beat off. If he'd have planted his foot, he's probably got Debo in the seam. It's a touchdown. He's gone a bit... He's just a bit too slow with letting the ball go there.
He's either going to do one or two things there for me. And one of them is either, as you say, you got to deliver it, but that second quicker to beat that safety he's dropping deep. Yeah? Because he was kind of like the guy who picked it off was actually kind of
Briscoe.
Near the linebacker spot, but then he just started like creeping back, and then he was reading what Jaden was doing, right? And he read it like a book. So the thing is that if he saw him coming back, then you got to go over the top. You throw a demon over the top, like the kind of a touch pass, but with deepness on it, or you fire it instantly, like quick before you. But he held it for that extra second. And it was enough to get that guy to get back there in time to get it. For me, that's on Jaden, big time.
It is absolutely on Jaden, but for that one, I can forgive him for that because he's still early in the game. It's the first drive. Yes, you're driving for 7 points. Yeah. We are 3 points behind on the board. We were messaging back and forth.
Well, we lost 3 points from that. Well, think about it. We lost 3 points because of that minimum, because we were in field goal.
We did. Yeah.
We lost the game by a point. So if we think about it that way, we lost the game because of that pick. Or you could say we lost the game because of that. And you can go either way. But the thing is, it's like
lots of ways with this.
But you've got to see it as poor by Jaden.
Absolutely.
Fumbles,
not denying that.
Ridiculous. Fumble. I mean,
2 fumbles.
2 fumbles. Klosky might try and do something extreme again and didn't need to do that. And left his ball hanging on the left hand side there. And the guy just knocked it out. Got lucky. That they got lucky, because he wasn't really aiming for the ball. He just kind of hit it as he was tackling him. It wasn't even like a punch or anything. He just kind of hit it with his arm and it came out. The third one was the killer, though. That was the killer because we were driving again. We were just going to run the ball and keep churning that clock. And okay, we might not have got a touchdown, but we definitely would have got a field goal.
Hot potato at the end there.
And that was ridiculous. And again, that was on Jaden. And Jaden also had a problem with, early on in the game. The ball being slippery.
Yeah,
he was running with the ball, and he had it in one hand like a loaf of bread, and it just kind of fell out of his hand, remember? And he died.
Yeah, and it bounced back, and it bounced away. It bounced back
to him. Bounced back to him, so he got lucky. That should have sharpened his mind, saying, well, it's bloody wet out here. This ball's slick. No. When it came to the most important part right at the end of the game there, was that. That's poor. That's just poor. And then, even worse is, I'd rather him say, oh, shit, the snap wasn't great, and it slipped out my hands. Just dive on the ball. Don't try to hand it off when you haven't got the ball. Try to hand it off to Bill. He didn't have the ball in his hands. So what's he doing?
Just bounced straight off Bill's chest.
Like this, trying to shove it to him. It's like, mate, you haven't got the ball in your hands. You can't hand it off. So, again, poor play. I'd rather than take the sack. You know what I mean?
It's decision making. It's decision making
exactly.
there.
I understand it's, you're pressure. It's instant, and that's just what he did. But yeah, in that, you just dive on the ball and just take the sack and go, okay, and if you have to punt it away, you've got to punt it away. But at least they're back inside the 10 rather than on like the 40 or 35 yard line, like the point. Yeah. So that 20 yards might have made the difference. You see what I mean? So it's just little things like that. But in these games, these close games, it makes the difference.
Yeah, I know. It's not good. We'll get on the defense.
I'm not ready to jump, mate. I'm all right.
the Gay would have missed the field goal anyway. James says.
I mean, to be fair, I mean everyone's killing Gay, and I've killed him for a long time as well. But to be fair, his last 3 games he's been solid.
He's done well. Yeah, he's done well.
He's missed one.
I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to have a conversation about kicker right now. He hit the post, fair enough, but it was over 50 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say.
And then he came back and he came back and he nailed a 53-yarder. So you're like,
yeah, I mean, he's definitely got better. The last 3 games, say he's missed 1 out of 10. Mm-hmm. So I'll take that every day, a single week. Yeah, it kind of killed us today because of a tight game, but it's a couple of days ago, but it's still, yeah. I'm not tripping over Matt Gay at this moment. He's not the biggest problem in our team right now.
No, he's not. The biggest problem in our team right now is a defensive coordinator named Joe Witt.
Yeah, he sucks, man. Like
that is the problem right now. So I've said what was poor defense as a whole, tackling yet again, scheme, fumbles, turnover. So we'll get into the bigger play. The biggest play that made the biggest difference, in my opinion, is the Quan Martin no tackle of DeAndre Swift, 55 yards further down the line. DeAndre's run it in for a touchdown, who seems to always play well against us. No matter what we do, DeAndre Swift plays well against us.
Yeah, he does well. He does. I blame Joe Witt. I blame Joe Witt for all of this because, okay, you can't blame him for pure, as in that tackle. That's Quan Martin's fault. I mean, he knows he's got to wrap him up. And Quan's only one of those guys who does tackle better than, he's one of our better tacklers in our team and our defense. So it's kind of I'm annoyed, obviously, but I kind of, it just pisses me off. But it is what it is, that. But with the Witt thing, it's kind of, it's always these outside perimeter fucking runs every single time. No one's running through the middle on us because they say we've got Kinlaw in there and we've got Payne and they're stopping the run. But you get us from the perimeter, we're dead. What's the biggest way to stop that? You set the edge. Oh, wait there a minute. We've got no edge, guys. Do you see what I mean? You got Armstrong, who does it a little bit, but in the day he's getting more sacks. Who's the other edge guy? We've got no one. We've got no one setting the edge. And even Witt said it today. We need to set the edge. Well, why the fuck didn't you do it then? You didn't get any players who can actually do it properly. You brought in Von Miller. He's a true pass rusher. You've got another guy pass rusher. You've got no true actual.
Who is the guy who we brought in that went to IR? Was pretty good actually.
Wise. Dietrich
Wise. He could set the edge.
Yeah, and that's why we look good in the perimeter runs in the first couple of weeks until he got hurt. Yeah, so this is the problem though. I understand, and injuries killed us again, blah blah blah. But the thing is, though, who you bringing in? You're bringing in Von Miller, who's a third down edge rusher, and then you've got Preston Smith, who's god awful, and then who's the guy who's brought in now the second rounder, who's fucking back on IR? What's all this?
You've got Jalen Holmes, and then you've got Martin as well. Was the other guy that was there? Yeah, not Martin, the other one.
But they're not. Do the Martin. Yeah, no, you're on about. But it just doesn't cut it, man. Like, and that's where you see the big holes. As I say, if everyone was healthy, we'd probably look a strong team. It'd probably be hard to get us out on the perimeter and beat us with the runs and dice. But teams are just going to keep dicing us up on that. Because we're stopping the run up the middle, but can't do it on the edge.
Why are we continually still hearing from him and from the team about communication, about we need to get better at this, we need to get better at this, and then the following week comes out and we don't get better?
Same again.
every single game this season you can go back and watch, and I'm sitting on a couch going, well, if I can see this, why can't anybody else see this? Every first quarter we are awful. Can't get anything going. We're normally between 7 to 10 points down, and then we're playing catch up all the time. Catch up, because you're not going to gash a team like the Chargers, like the Cowboys, like the Eagles. You're just not going to do it or hold them to anything in the first quarter. So we're always constantly playing catch up because we can't set the edge, because running backs that are average. I mean, this is the worst team in the NFL at rushing in the Bears that coming into this game. The worst. 32 out of 32. And what happened? DeAndre Swift's markers here, I'm going to read it. 14 carries for 108 yards, 7.7, and a touchdown.
Yeah, I
And
wonder
then
what's
also,
passing.
you know,
Receiving yards was as well.
receiving yards, 2 receptions for 67 and a TD, long 55.
Yeah, and that was the missed tackle from Quan. Yes, so we had the monster day. As you say, he always plays well against us. But again, it's because they use him in a way.
And then you've got Joe Schmo, 3rd round fucking sideshow Bob, running back who's just trucking up the middle. What is actually going on here? I mean, what's he actually called? Not. I mean, I'm gonna find it here. Kyle Monaghy. Or who are you? You know,
he's a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a rookie. He was he's a 7th rounder, I think, or a 6th rounder. And it's like, what? How's this? Yeah. How is this continually happening?
How many yards did he get?
Why am I seeing? He wasn't too good. He got 19 yards, but even so, 3.8.
Yeah, 3.8 because we didn't.
3.8 a carry. 3.8 a carry still.
Yeah, I mean that's just bang average. That I mean that's nothing special at all. 7.7 kills you. 3.8.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
but what I'm saying.
So I mean, up the middle, we're okay. We're still okay up the middle against the run. It's down the sides. It's the perimeter runs, these zone runs, and all that, and then the quick passing game out to the edges, which we knew was going to be a weakness. We knew this like before the first game of the season. We were saying this is going to be a weakened area. It's going to be this part, and we're getting toasted again because we don't have a guy as a defensive coordinator who can actually scheme it properly. Can scheme to protect those areas. We're not doing it, man. Like,
but all I've heard.
Where's the pressure? Where's the blitzing? I said no blitz. Like, what are you doing?
2 years now. We've heard ball is life. Gonna get takeaways. We're gonna get takeaways. Hasn't happened. Hasn't happened.
That's the one. We should have got 3 ourselves on defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had 2 drops and 1 ball that kind of fell in the air that no one was just nowhere near it. But like. 2 actual drops. 1 was right in the chest. It's like, man, come on. Our guys can't catch but our DBs can't catch, man. Like, it's a problem.
And the worst thing is they can't tackle. I mean,
it's fundamentals. That's fundamentals.
Yeah, we spoke about it last week, and this is how, like, I'm scratching my head. I'm holding myself here going, well, what is happening? Because we talked about this, saying you need to bring someone in to teach you how to fundamentally tackle. I don't care if the person falls forward for a first down, if they go for 5 yards, as long as you tackle that person. And then Joe Witt's talking about tackling today in his press conference, and he's saying, oh, well, we don't want one man tackling the one man, and, we need to get more people around them. No, you don't, because one man can tackle one man. Have you never seen New Zealand play rugby? Have you never seen a big guy, a little guy as long as
these guys aren't taught to tackle like that. Have you seen DBs tackle? Have you seen how DBs tackle?
They are awful.
They stick their head in and go,
yes.
Try and put a shoulder in.
I know. And it's
I could run
like,
through that shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, what are you doing? It's kind
there's
of
no
like,
wrap. There's no wrap up. Yeah. There's no, like, I've got to try and take him to the
backers and normally the linemen. They're the ones you can kind of tackle better. But obviously, a lineman can't run anywhere, so he can't. So besides in the middle, you're not going to see him do much. So it's got to be down to the backers, the linebackers. They normally can tackle well. Like Wagner's a solid tackler, you know what I mean? Always has been. But then you look at the rest of it. It's a joke. Like, why did we see McGee this week? Why didn't we see McGee this week?
I understand, Scotty. I understand what you're saying there about our drops the fault of Witt or the players. It's of course the fault of the players. But Witt has continually said, I will put the players in the best position to see them succeed. I am not seeing that. Why am I seeing Bobby Wagner on a wide receiver in coverage? No.
Yeah. He's always been poor. Like, I mean, even when he's a Hall of Fame player, even in his prime, he was awful in coverage. Like, he never was that player. What he is doing, putting him there, and it happens regularly as well. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, as well, with Witt, like, you could say, was it Joe Witt's fault or was it the player's fault? Yeah, of course, the actual drop at that specific play is the player's fault. However, it's Witt's problem for getting the players in. If these guys can't catch, why the hell are you playing for our team? See what I mean? So we should be saying, I don't like you, you're not playing. Because you can't catch shit.
Scott G says multiple players for a tackle is this. First guy holds the guy, the other guys are there to attack the ball. I understand that. I understand exactly where he's coming from with that. If you can attack the ball and you can peanut punch it out, whatever you can do.
We don't create turnovers. We don't even create the ball coming out and then them even the other team picking the ball back up. Like we don't create a lot of turnovers. And that's the thing that they say that they were going to put their name to put themselves, tie themselves to that mast and say, we're going to be a turnover team. We're going to make turnovers on this defense. So expect the big play to get burnt once in a while and all the rest because we're going to try and get the ball out. We're just seeing us getting toasted, and we're not seeing any actual turnover potential. We're seeing nothing.
And corners will always get toasted against a wide receiver. Facts. There's nothing you can do about that.
If you give the quarterback enough time, the DB's always going to get killed.
Of course they are. It is. And it's just it is exactly what it is. But what you can see is effort and tackling isn't there. And it certainly wasn't. It might be, but it certainly wasn't there in this game. And that's the thing that pisses you off more than anything. Why aren't we hassling around? Why aren't we running to the ball? Why aren't we doing these sort of things? Jordan McGee is...
Quan Martin won the 55 yards that he missed the tackle on. It was that fundamental that the guy was going to come and help him stop because he thought, Quan's got him. It's no problem. It's an easy tackle. Yeah. And I think that was Lattimore. I think it was
Lattimore, yeah.
So Lattimore just kind of like eased off and just kind of jogged over. And by that time, he fucking burns him and he's gone. Can't catch him then. It's over. It's a mental thing, but also thinking, well, Quan's one of our better tacklers. He's going to make that tackle, so I don't need to get in there fast. See what I mean? So that's why he's done that. So again, it's made them both look stupid. That has. Yeah,
and I understand that Joe Witt doesn't go on the field. You know what I mean? He doesn't go on the field. He doesn't. As soon as you're across that whitewash, that's fine. But his scheme is really poor. I mean, people have been talking about this for the whole week on socials, and I know social media is an echo chamber. But when was the last time we had a decent defensive coordinator? Tell me, because I can't remember one.
Wow.
I genuinely can't remember one. I can't. And either the scheme needs to change or the person needs to change, which is Joe Witt. Because I think Dan Quinn needs to either take over play calling duties on the defense or the scheme needs to completely go. Because I get it. He's Dan Quinn's mate. I understand.
Yeah. And then he wants to protect them. He wants to protect them.
And he wants to succeed. Jesus.
Jim
Haslett. Yeah. Wow.
But you see the guy who went to Cleveland as head coach? We're talking probably about 10, 15 years ago now. Not Minuski, but the other one. There was Greg Williams. Greg Williams, he was good.
Greg Williams, yeah.
He was a quality defensive coordinator. But besides that, we've had fucking shite. Let's face it. Most of our coordinators have been crap, really. I mean, especially on the defensive side, we had some good offensive ones. Gruden's and Shanahan's and McVay and all that, but McConnell, Daniels, we've had loads on the offense, but none on the actual defense, really. So it's kind of like it's upsetting, really.
Yeah, I think it's time. I honestly think I don't think it's time for a change just yet. I think it's time. I think it'll wait until the end of the season. But if it doesn't get any better. This is now the second year on the trot that we're getting absolutely destroyed against run defense. You can't keep changing personnel and thinking it's going to get better because it's not. And what is fundamentally wrong here? And what fundamentally wrong is it's pointing at one person. So I would not be surprised if we moved on from Joe Witt if we don't have a season similar to what we did last year.
Instead of firing his ass, why don't we just kind of keep him pretending to be the actual guy? But Dan take over if he really wants to protect them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let him sit up there and pretend play calling. You know what I mean? But actually, Dan Quinn's doing it, or one of his mates is doing it around the side. You know what I mean? Something like that. I'd rather have that. I mean, if you really want to protect the guy, because I just think you need to take him out the firing line as well. I just don't think he's got it. I don't think it's like he plays man when he should be playing zone. He's playing zone, should be playing man. You know what I mean? It's like everything he does it's the wrong play. It's the wrong call every time.
Do you not find as well that the first 15 plays, the scripted plays, doesn't matter what you put on your script, it's beating us on these first 15 plays. We look bamboozled.
We're always behind. Yeah, we're always behind.
We look bamboozled. And it's just like, what on earth are we doing here?
See, this is why I don't like scripted plays. I don't like scripted plays because you can always, you can watch as much
Jesse?
tape
You all right, mate?
No, you can see as much as you want. As in kind of film and their offense does this and this on the first 10 plays, so we'll counteract. They know they're gonna that you're gonna watch that tape, so they're gonna change it up, aren't they? No, it's pretty obvious. And then you're scheming for these 20 plays or 10 plays, and they're not even doing those plays. You look a right dick. So for me, you're better off just going, no, what, forget that. I'm just going to call a play as you go. Call a play as you go along. That's what I'll do.
James says, what's Dan Quinn's role in this? Does he put the effort in helping the D scheme better, and leave O to Kingsbury? Don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I think he's left Joe Witt to carry on and do play calling to do the whole thing this year.
Yeah, because I think that's what he was saying, wasn't he, about kind of when he got fired from Atlanta, when he got like an audit on himself of like how he responded and to certain situations and what he was good at, bad at. And I think one of them was that he was trying to do everything. That was one of his problems. He was trying to do everything and he couldn't do it all. And I think he's learned from that. And I think he's left his coordinators to run the show. It's like, look, man, you are the coordinators. It's your baby. You know what I mean? I'm just here to oversee stuff, and this is the identity I want. Use implement. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's just basically what he's about. I don't think it's anything. His game is basically calling timeouts and challenge flags, which he loses quite a bit. But so there's that. But yeah, but
challenging for a yard. That was a bizarre move as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
And then using a timeout immediately,
and then you use your timeout
after.
Anyway. I was like, that was a strange one. I understand if it was like a 5 or 6, 10-yard gain. All right, fine, but a 1-yarder. And
didn't understand that myself. Didn't understand
that challenge. I was like, yeah.
So there's a couple of questions here. I mean, Scott G, we'll get into your question, mate, because it's relevant now. So rather than wait till the question section, we'll go through it now. How do you talk people off the ledge that are overreacting to the loss? That's the first thing. What would you say to stop them coming over the ledge?
I think he's got to take the rough with the smooth. Look into more the positives of the game. There were some nice throws. I mean, Jaden did throw some. He didn't play awful by any means, but there was key plays that he messed up on badly, and that's what he needs to be called out for. But so overall, Jaden played quite well, really. Overall, there's positives throughout. I mean, defense, a little bit harder to find, but you can still find some things you can look into. But. Like, the player was actually in the right place to catch it. You just dropped the interception, So you suppose you could try and spin it positively like that. But I think that's how you got to see it. You got to see that we're an inconsistent team, and we always tend to bounce back after a defeat.
Jesse says Jaden was excellent besides 2 plays. You're probably right.
I'm not going to say he was fully excellent, but I thought he was decent. Let's say 2 plays, but 2 plays, mate, that's cost you. Minimum 6 points, could be 14, and it's cost you the game. So if you think about it like that again, but again, yeah. So to answer Scott's question, how to stop people falling off the ledge? So you just got to see, you got to roll with it, man. Don't Of course, we're being quite critical, especially of the defense. A lot more critical, and I think it needs to be called out. However, you still got to kind of have that hope that he can rectify these things.
Absolutely.
And just, next game, every game on Sunday, and you got a chance of winning again, So
injuries are going to get better, hopefully.
And because Cosme's going to come back in the next few weeks, so that's going to be good, and that's definitely going to help us a lot on offense. And John Jones is going to come back. As you say, Jonathan Jones is full training now from his ankle, so that'll help us on the back end a little bit. So so this
we don't know Terry's status, obviously, which we just talked about before, but there's a positive. But yeah, it is.
Don't stop at join the party.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then the second part to that question of Scott's is, what do you tell people to get them to jump off the ledge? Dan Snyder's report the team.
Just talk. I don't know. All you got to do is talk about Joe Witt's defense, and you can kind of go with that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's going on with this guy? But yeah, I mean, I'd say, and you can always get on the thing of injuries.
Negative
Everyone's got injuries, but the thing is that sometimes injuries just do ruin your season. It's all well and good having the next man up mentality. Sometimes you just gotta you know what, these guys coming in, man, just aren't at the level, and that's understandable. Or these guys be playing first team somewhere else, So there's a reason why the second, third stringers, because they're inconsistent. And what are we at this moment? We are inconsistent. Win one, we lose one. Win one, we lose one. This is how it's happened over the first 6 games.
It has. Cam McDonald, he said, as bad as it was at 24-16, did not winning the game ever occur to you? I know last season going behind in the last few minutes of a game with JD5 under centre, you always had confidence of winning. But do you also feel the same at this stage of the season? So what he's saying there is, are you as confident with Jaden under centre as you were last season? And did you ever think when we were obviously 24-16 up that we were going to lose that game? Because I didn't. I genuinely thought, no,
I didn't. I didn't believe we would lose the game. I thought we had the 2 turnovers, and they got 10 points from the 2 turnovers. And I thought, well, we were beating ourselves at that point, but then obviously we kind of sorted it in game, which is on offense, that is. So we got like 8 points up, and I thought, yeah, we're just going to take this win now. They're not good enough to come back and do us, because we're marching down the field. You're always going to be thinking, we've won this game now. Just get a few more points in this drive, and then even if they've got time left, they still need 2 scores. We're going to win this game. And then obviously that's why I said that final turnover was the backbreaker more than anything else. Even compared to the first 2, that one was the worst one. That was the worst timing. It was the worst everything. And it was just like, man, that really, really fucked us, basically. I think that deflated our defense. Our defense didn't do shit on that drive. I'd rather let them run through and let them take us 55 to the fucking for 7, and then we get the ball back and we can win it. At least we got that instead. What we did, we died by a death of 1,000 cuts. We let them fucking just march the ball down, ran the ball down, and took all the time off and walked off with a field goal. Walk-off field goal win. Yeah, so again, you could say from defensive side, if you were smarter, you might go, well, actually, these are gashing us anyway. Let them fucking take a big one to the house. And then we've got, okay, we would be what? At that time, it would be a point behind, but we would have maybe a minute left, something like that. Maybe a bit more than that, depending on when you did that. And you got a chance to go down the field and score yourself to win it. So I'd rather have the ball in Jaden's hand.
They were never going to do that. They were only ever trying to look for a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you let them through, though, I know it sounds crazy doing that, but teams have done that before, let people score, just so your quarterback gets the last chance to make that happen. Do you believe in Jaden enough? And do you believe in Jaden enough? Who
was it tried to fall on the 1 yard line and fell into the end zone 4 times? I can't even remember who it was.
Yeah, it happens so much. Happens a lot, man. I mean, you don't. But I say, if in that situation, you could have, because you could see like that our defense was stopping nothing. Like it wasn't. Yeah. It just wasn't happening. They were marching down, taking all the time off the clock, and it's like, man, we're not creating a turnover. We're not even looking like close to making one, to creating one. And it's like, mate, you know what? If you just be smart about it, let them get a touchdown, let them take the lead or whatever. Okay, so it was a touchdown. So it was 7 instead of 3. So it was 4 points. So they'd have been 5 points up. So we would need a TD to win it. But I'd rather have Jaden with 2 minutes left on the clock, or maybe with 1 timeout left, and the ball in his hands, get a touchdown for us, rather than them let them fucking run down the clock on us. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to think like that. Sometimes strategic.
Yeah.
And we didn't. And again, Joe Whitby and El Dumbo. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
I mean, I don't know. Am I confident?
I understand it's a tight game. I understand.
Am I confident with him? Am I confident with him under centre? Yes, I am confident with Jaden under centre. If they played him under centre, stop playing fucking pistol. Don't do that shit.
The thing is, though, is that Jaden's never been a guy under centre. Like in his whole career, he's never done it. He's been a shotgun guy. That's most of his thing.
Shotgun or pistol,
yeah. And then the odd once in the blue moon, he go under centre, but that's not his main game. So I mean, I prefer him to be like that, especially in that final drive. With the ball's right to his hands rather than actually popping out to him.
Absolutely.
Especially in the wet weather. I get it, but that's not Jaden's thing, really. So I understand why they didn't do that. But yeah, I just think, it's just a bit annoying, really. What about this one here? James mentioned, you see Snyder's shot of power failure.
Yeah, I did, yeah. In Falmouth. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It was
hilarious.
That was good. I just said there to James, it couldn't happen to a nicer person, could it? You know what I mean?
I think what happened was, someone said it was about bad, like, diesel, whether it uses, kind of knackered up his engine. So they're flying in guys from helicopters were going across all the time. And they were getting guys in through the engineers who actually made the yacht. People who made the yacht who are in Holland. Mm-hmm. And actually, so the engineers were over there, so they kept sending them over there via, because obviously couldn't move anywhere. They're just getting choppers out to it and coming back, and choppers out to it and coming back. That cost them a fortune.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse's right. He said, I think people are making too much of Jaden not being under centre. I'll explain it on tomorrow's pod. Fair enough, mate. But like Scouts was saying there, he's never played under centre, and that's not anyone's fault. That's not his game. But
it's not his game.
At that point, with 2 minutes left on the clock, do you continue doing what you're doing and
especially if you're going to run the ball, because the play was to hand the ball off to Bill. So I kind of understand why.
But as you said before,
as
you said before, you want to be. If the ball's gone, don't hand it off like a fucking hot potato and just go.
It was ridiculous what Jaden did.
Just fall on it. Just fall on it.
He should have just hit him in the chest. Instead of trying to palm it off on him, just let it fucking fall to the floor and jump on it. You know what I mean? Like just take the sack. If that's the end of the drive, at least you can punt the ball away. You know what I mean? Make them play whole field defense. You know what I mean? Try and get the points you need now. But yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but
it's annoying. But we can move on now because it's Dallas week, and F Dallas. Yeah. Who cares? You know what I mean? We're in Dallas week, so we've got to try and be a bit more excited for Dallas week. They are 2-3-1 third in the NFC East. I'll go through their passing statistics. So Dak has 1,617 yards. Javonte Williams 476. George Pickens 525. And tackles wise, it's Kenneth Murray. Injuries for them. We have Tyler Booker with an ankle, was limited both yesterday and today. Caden Carson, cornerback knee, full practice. Limited practice was Ajan Cornelius, a tackle with a knee, both knees in fact. It says knee and knee. Limited practice. Trayvon Diggs, knee, was full practice. James Houston, full practice. Trevor Keegan, guard, neck, limited practice. Marshawn Nealand, ankle, limited. CeeDee Lamb, limited with an ankle. Mingo, knee, limited. And then Tyler Smith, offensive lineman, knee, limited. Kevontae Turpin, wide receiver, foot, limited. And Donovan Wilson, safety, elbow, stroke, knee, limited. So what do we need to do to win this game then, Scouts?
We've got to do something that we've not done for a while, and that's basically keep the ball on offense. We've got to do long drives, not just run the ball, but
time of possession.
You got to win time of possession. We've not won that for a while, man. In most of these games, so we've been doing it the wrong way round. And plus, you want to keep Dak off the field because at the moment he's playing well.
He's playing well. He is.
They're putting points on the board, man, and our defense is not stopping shit, as we know. So we've got to make sure that we've got the ball on offense for most of the game. And if that means running it 50 times, you run it 50 times as long as we can get it done. That's the way to do it. Keep it out of Dak's hands. Turnovers if we can get them, which we know we won't. And then keep the ball on offense. That's the best way.
And keep our defense healthy and fresh. That's what you need to do. Yeah, absolutely.
Keep them off the field.
Run the ball. It's time to run the ball. And you've got to put it back in Bill's hands and say, look, go for it. I want to see more Jeremy McNichols as well as a change. He's never let us down. Whether Rodriguez is a goal or not, we'll wait and see. But ideally, you like the finesse of what Bill is, but you need that hammer as well. You need to, you need someone who's just
Nichols. He always comes up with a big play when you need him to. Do you know what I mean? Like you need that third down making, and he always finds a way of getting it for us. So, it's I like Nichols.
Does this game worry you? Obviously, it being Dallas.
Of course, it worries me. I mean, of course, it worries me. Our defense can't stop shit, as I say, and they've got even with CeeDee Lamb out, they've been putting up points all over the gaff. They made Jake Ferguson look better than Brock Bowers. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what's going on here? That's how well Dak's playing at the moment. He's elevating his team. He's elevating his other potential receivers. George Pickens is looking real good. It's just kind of like, he's he scored in the last 5 games. Pickens touchdowns. This is it. Javonte Williams has been playing well on the run game. It's kind of like our defense ain't gonna match up well against this. So as I say, we really. So of course I'm worried about the game. You know what I mean? Like if we need to be the ones getting the 10-0 head start. We need to be having that type of thing. We need that.
And
if we don't get goodbye, we're going to get battered.
The good thing here is I think this game could be a shootout. I really do. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think it's going to be a shootout.
Let's face it.
Because
both defenses.
Yeah, their defense is worse than ours, which is hard to say right
but they
now.
Get killed on the deep ball. They get killed on the deep ball. That's the problem, right? So who's our speed guys? Jalen Lane. Okay.
Lane. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, because Debo's playing with a heel. He's not going to be as fast as he should be. Terry, even if he does play, ain't going to be anywhere near the level, as in the speed level that he's going to need to be at. So it's kind of like, well, who have you got for deep shots? McCaffrey, once in a while, you could maybe throw him in there a little bit, but he's not that real take it off the edge, take a top off the defense's type of player. You know what I mean? Like, really, you've only got Jalen Lane to do that.
Over 40 yards is good. If it's I've got to run and then 60 yard, it's a really long distance one, you're struggling.
Yeah. And the thing is as well is if we're good against, if we actually do the deep ball well to like really punish Dallas, that's how they kind of struggled quite a lot, is that our defense is going to be on the field a hell of a lot more than theirs because we're going to toast them. You see what I mean? We're going to get the points, but our defense is going to be playing more snaps, which means that our guys are going to be knackered by the fourth quarter and we're going to get run all over anyway. So this is why it's hard to, if you want to be in a shootout, I mean, you've still got to try and play it to try and help your defense as best you can because your defense, let's face it, is crap. But it's kind of, if we're going to feel way longer than them, it's going to be a problem coming to the fourth. Like, it's just going to be a problem. So, it's one of them.
Horrible chat here. I mean, Scott G said, how soon will Terry be saying...
He's already said that. He said it before he signed his deal.
Yeah, but then the following comment is Jesse saying Terry should be traded, and obviously James is laughing, and yes, he is washed, is what he's just said there. And obviously the good point here from Jesse said anyone not worried about the game should get the head checked. Absolutely agree with you. I am worried. I'm worried about these next 4 games. I'm looking at this schedule and thinking, oh shit, this is a lot harder than we expected this to be. You know what I mean? It really is a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. And as I said to you before, inconsistency is one key thing. Not having your team there because of injuries is another thing. Everyone blames injuries, I get that. But as I said when we first started here, we are a good team who is, can be solid, and around 500 team with an elite quarterback. That is it. It's as simple as that. If you catch lightning in a bottle, if everyone stays fit, you can have a deep playoff run. If you don't,
you get this.
Something goes wrong, you get this.
But that's easy when you get too many main guys being injured. Not just injuries in general, but like it's your main guys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They've not been able to train. So they're not getting the practice. Even the practice reps in between games, they're not even getting that. So that's the other thing as well. It's kind of like these guys aren't gelling at all. They're trying to gel on the field while they're all banged up. And that's the ones who actually are on the field, never mind the ones who are off the field. So this is why it's a struggle. Like everything's a struggle at the moment. I'm expecting no names to try and do the business, and it's hard to get that every time. Like at their best, these no namers, like your Chris Moores, whoever, they can do a job, but that's going to be at their best. And to be fair, it's hard for an elite player to play at their best all the time. You know what I mean? And especially if you're not, and that's why these no-namers are no-namers, because these are guys who might play well for 1 or 2 games and then they're absolute dog shit for the next 5, because they're inconsistent. That's the reason why they're not starters in the first place. So, I mean, when you've got too many of these guys playing, what do you get? You get an inconsistent performance, which means you win and lose inconsistently. So it's that's the problem, man. It all trickles down.
I'm looking at this here. Jesse obviously said we're going 0-4 in these next 4 games. I mean, we're at the Cowboys. We're at the Chiefs, who are starting to play well. We've got the Seahawks at home,
and they've got the refs as well.
Okay,
they've got the refs,
and we're at home to the Lions. It's a murderer's row. It's a murderer's row of games coming up. And it's like
the thing is though, right? The thing is is that. We said this about the Giants last week, and look what happened. They beat the Eagles.
We did.
So these things can happen, man.
That's the other thing I wanted to bring up, and thank you for reminding me because it's just ticked that switch in my head. And I know we're kind of chatting like We'd be at a bar here, but this is kind of how we do it, and we're going all over the place. Do you think we shit ourselves a little bit because we had an opportunity to be top of the NFC East? Like, genuinely, and I said this on the pod the other night with on the Bleeding Pod. Do you genuinely think sometimes in your back of your head you're going, shit, we could be top here because we're playing a day later? Do you know what I mean? We're always looking at it like that. How many times in our game, in football or in rugby, have you seen a team where you go, they could go top here, and then they put out a stinker? Look at my team against your team. We're playing really well. Carlisle are flying. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. York are 9th. You get beat 5-0. Great for you as a York fan. Terrible for me as a Carlisle fan, because now I'm left scratching my head going, where's that performance come from? And let's be fair, we laid an egg against the Bears. We were terrible. You know, the week before, Atlanta come into town, and you're like, okay, Atlanta, we're going to play. Well, no, the week before that, we're playing Atlanta, who's come off losing 40 against Carolina. What do? We lay an egg.
To nil.
To nil. Exactly, to nil. We lay an egg. Then it's like, okay, you go to the Chargers, who've got serious O-line problems, we win. So is it the fact that we have to go against a team that's either not really well prepared, has a lot of injuries, same as the Raiders? They're a shit side. We beat the Raiders.
Yeah,
and then the Giants in week 1, we only beat them because we were all there, and because of the fact that it's the Giants and it's week 1 and nobody knows what anyone's going to do. So
yeah, I think we do like being the underdog. I think that's what we like. We like to be the chaser rather than being chased, you know. And I think so. With saying that, no, it might be a subconscious thing, a subliminal thing. You know, it's like, oh yeah, we could go top if we win this game tonight. And then, as I say, you shit the bed. You know, so it could be something. It could be something like that. You know, it could be. It might be a mental block. We're not used to being at the top because the Eagles are always far ahead and we're always chasing them and da. And even before the Eagles were that good, it was Dallas top of that division and it was da. You know what I mean? So it's been ingrained for a long time that we've been shit. So maybe it's still there. There's still a little bit at the back of people's minds.
But what a terrible, terrible pick from all of us in this fan base and all of us in the NFC East to say the East was going to be an amazing division this year. Nope. It's the NFC East again. Do you know we're back there again, aren't we?
To be fair, I mean, I think when you come down to see the playoffs, mate, you'll see at least 2 of our teams in there.
I don't think you will.
I think you will. I mean, it might not be us, it might be Dallas, but I mean, Dallas keep putting 35, 40 points up every week. You know, it's going to be hard to beat them even with a shit defense. So, you know, I think we've got a chance.
Sign what you just said. Scott G said we should stop blaming players and coaches. It's clearly the UK fans. You get me a flight out there, mate, every week and a ticket. I'm more than happy.
I genuinely believe that they should. They should be paying for us to come out there every week.
Fire up the jet. Fire up the jet.
16-0, bros.
But not every game. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Super Bowl tickets as well.
We'll get into our fan question then, mate. Obviously, we've answered most of our fan question, which is great. I agree with that, Jesse. I'm not thinking there's 2 teams coming out of the East. There's much better divisions. But yeah, the North is pretty good. The South is actually okay.
Not only one team's coming through there.
I don't know. We'll wait and see.
We'll see
how
the North, Minnesota. I'm not digging that. They're the North, aren't they?
Yeah, Green Bay. Good.
So after they battered us, they've done nothing. So it's a bit
like... Yeah, I think Jesse's right. First to 10 wins this division. I agree with that.
I just think the Eagles are going to implode. That's their problem.
I hope so.
I do, because I think there's so many egos and attitudes there, and because they're not winning and they're not playing well, they're all just getting on each other's cases, so they're playing worse. So we're rather than rallying around and being a team, they're actually being the opposite. They're being more individual, which is going to cost them. Their egos are going to be too big. You know, Devonta Smith's not happy, so he gets the ball more. But then A.J. Brown becomes unhappy because he's not getting the ball, and then Saquon's not getting the ball. You see what I mean? So all these guys aren't getting it, and then all it is tush push, fucking boring ass tush push, and that's why Jalen Hurts still looking half decent, even though he can't throw the ball to save his life. So it's kind of like.
I'm not going to answer that one, Scott. Well, I plead the fifth on that one, but yeah.
What's this?
And Scouse especially since Scouse loves Donald, and they're against and they are against socialism. Okay. But I want politics. We're not doing politics on this show. That's the After Dark podcast. Which, if you want to subscribe to that, by all means, you can do. Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
That could be something in the pipeline. That one.
It could be. Our question is from Tim Towner. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you putting it in. Scott G, I answered your questions, and Cam, I answered your questions. So thank you for putting them in too. He said, "Is Washington a playoff team? We got on a heater last year, but that was last year, and I'm not sure whether we are just maybe being delusional. Do you think we are a playoff team this season, on what we've seen so far?"
Well, what we've seen so far, we're going to be in 9-8, which won't be enough.
I don't think we.
That's what I mean. Let's be honest. If we win loss on average, we're going to be a 9-8 team, or an 8-9, depending on which way you want to work it. So that's not going to make it. That's not going to make it work. That's not going to make it to playoffs. At this moment, we're a borderline playoff team. I don't think we're bona fide by any means. But I'd say if we can get some guys back. And I'd say and get on a bit of a roll. Just a couple of, a win that we shouldn't have got. Maybe like a Detroit again or something like that, where you think we shouldn't win, but we win. Just to boost that confidence up, get some players back healthy. We might be able to nick in the playoffs. But again, that's just being the optimist side of it. But deep down, I mean, what I'm seeing at this moment, are we a playoff team? No, we're not. We'll say we're borderline, but probably going to fail by a game or two.
I agree. I agree.
So
I agree.
So it just depends really on injuries, and if we get rid of Joe Witt mid-season, which probably won't happen. But yeah,
Tim's have a question, quite a long question, but we can try and break it down. He said the question's about quarterbacks. He said teams are always reaching for one in the draft, then they discard them after 2 to 3 years if they don't produce. A lot of this is down to coaching and scheme, as seen with Baker Mayfield and Darnold, but not always seen with the likes of Fields and Trey Lance. Now, I heard someone say that quarterback class of 2026 is meh, and the teams may opt for a QB off the reclamations heap. So, who do you think would have the best shot at resurrecting their career by moving on, and to what team? Ooh, big one that. So, QBs who could resurrect their career, and where could they go?
Interesting.
Is there anybody out there that you could think of? I do.
You could truly resurrect and be a starter and be like resurrect the career that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back up to a starter again.
So James straight away says Jameis. I mean, it's a good shout. I like Jameis.
Winston.
I do like Jameis, but he's just.
He's QB3 at the Giants. I mean, what's that tell you? Do you know what I mean? Being honest with you, is he talented? Sure, but most of these quarterbacks are. But to be a starter, you've got to be consistent. And these guys aren't. That's what I'm saying. The consistency is the key. They've all got talent. They've all got skill. If you give them enough time, any quarterback in the NFL will kill you. But it's about, can you do it all the time? And can you do it on the run? Can you do it under pressure? So that's where you got the problems. So I don't think Winston will come back and become a bona fide number one starter somewhere.
Who are you getting as a starter? And you're thinking, right, okay, we can start this guy. They're going to be okay. QB, you're looking at QB needy teams again, aren't you? It's difficult.
Yeah, and it's hard, man. It is hard because you're thinking, well, if you're looking at some teams, they're already playing rookie quarterbacks and hoping that they can get something out of them and make sure that they look at Cleveland, for example, with Gabriel.
That's where I would go. Could you put? And this is a great shout by James. Could you put a Kirk Cousins in Cleveland? I mean, I actually wrote 3 names down here. I wrote Will Levis, Pittsburgh.
Kirk could be dead in about 2 games because they've got no offensive line.
So Will Levis, I've put in Pittsburgh.
Levis of Pittsburgh.
Potentially. I think he'd be okay there. Matt Jones in Cleveland or New Orleans.
Matt Jones.
I think Matt Jones has been great in San Francisco, but he could put anyone.
He is in the Shanahan system, exactly.
You could put the janitor in there and he could play well. But at the same time, because obviously my wife's a Jags fan, we watched a lot of Mac Jones last year. And because he's from Jacksonville and he supports the Jags, he wanted to do well. And he did well. He was pretty good. He wasn't shit, but he's been
okay at the Niners.
He was average. And he's been okay at the Niners so far. So
and he's not old. Because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a guy who's not. Is he going to be better?
Who's that profile?
That's what you're looking at.
Would he be better than Dylan Gabriel? I think so. I think Trey
Well,
Lance
yeah, I
is
mean,
done.
yeah. Well, Mac Jones has been around the league for about 4 or 5 years now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I
that's the
know, but
difference.
it's still
You
young.
know,
That's the thing.
Daviel's. Oh, yeah, he's still. I mean, he's still young, so I'm going to class him as. That's the profile you're looking for, though. You're looking for a guy who came in as a starter, then dropped down because his play wasn't good enough, and then come back up again. That's what Mac Jones would be. So he would be a good one.
I think
But
Cousins in New York might be okay.
Cousins is done, mate. He needs to retire. To be honest, mate, never mind, come back and become a starter somewhere. And then
Look, if Joe Flacco can do it, Cousins can do it, mate. Don't you worry about that. He just needs to tick off the Pittsburgh box.
He can actually move a little bit. Kirk Cousins can't even stand on his leg properly. You know what I mean? Like that's why he got benched because he can't even put his foot down properly to deliver the ball. I was thinking about Mariota, James.
Ooh,
I was thinking about Mariota, but then I was thinking, well, you know what? He didn't actually play that great when he came in this year. So I don't know. So
I thought
again,
the
consistency. The consistency is the problem. Again, you see.
I mean, I know you're saying that, but these are backup quarterbacks. But who could do a job and say, you know what, I'm better than an average starter?
Well, the backup quarterbacks can do a job for 3-4 games, but can you do a job for 17 games? No, that's the problem. You see, and that's what he's saying. If you can bring in somebody up from this question as being like, can they go somewhere and resurrect their career and be a starter? That's what you got to expect. You're expecting a starting quarterback you can actually produce at a good level, maybe not a great level, but a good level for all that time, not just a few games in a pinch. You know what I mean? So this is why it's like that's why it's a hard question, really, because I say Mac Jones could potentially do it, but if you had the right team, the right scheme, potential. I say Mariota, but again, Mariota's in his 30s now. You know what I mean? It's a bit like borderline potentially, maybe, but again,
when you're watching people in these offenses like Wentz. You know, Sam Darnold had a great season. Sam Darnold had a great season. And it's like, he had a great season with Minnesota, and then he's gone to Seattle.
Don't forget, though,
he hasn't done bad.
Sam Darnold coming out of college was like the next superstar stuff.
I know.
And then he was good-ish for a little bit at Carolina, and then fell apart because the whole team was
at the Jets. He was at the Jets. He was terrible.
Well, he was at the Jets after he went to after Carolina.
No, wrong way round. Jets drafted him.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then he went to Carolina.
Even if he did,
he was terrible for the Jets. But it's the Jets, so you know what I mean. And that's no offense, Olivia, if you're listening. But yeah, he was drafted by the Jets. I'm nigh on 100% certain. But he's done okay in Seattle. So. I mean,
I'd say he's the guy who had the best situation last year when he ended up being starter for Minnesota. He went there as the backup, and he got there because McCarthy went out straight away. So he was forced into that situation, and he did well. But he did have a good team around him. But that gave him his confidence back that he could actually win games in the NFL. And
then
now
you're going into then you're going into Shanahan's system as a backup, and you've played a few games there, which we know works. Look at hence Mac Jones, hence anybody else who's ever played in that Shanahan system. And then you look at like where he is now, and he's got $100 million contract off Seattle. Happy days. Fair play to the man. That is a reclamation.
And he's
project.
Not too old. He's only 28. He's only 28 now. So as I'm saying, but he was a guy who was a starter, lost his job, went to a different team as a backup, and then came back up again. So they're the guys you're looking for this question.
I tell you, the other person who you can think of who's done that is Baker Mayfield. He's the only other person I can think of off the top of my head. He was decent in Cleveland for a season or so. Then it all went rapidly downhill. Then he's pissed off to the bloody LA Rams on a whim, and then he ends up at the Bucs, and everyone's like, not sure if this is going to work or not. Oh, he's at Carolina as well, actually. Then he's like, I'm going to go to the Bucs, and then he's their franchise quarterback. He's great. He's a good player, very good, above average quarterback. What about Stafford? If, say, Stafford retires, could someone go to like the Rams and work in McVay's system? One of these players.
I think.
Is there anybody that's kind of young that you would think, oh yeah, maybe a first rounder that's dropped off? Not sure. Is that a Trey Lance situation? Probably not. Baker I don't
think anyone's saving him. I don't think anyone's saving Trey Lance, to be fair.
I don't think so either.
At the moment, I agree with Jesse. I think Baker is the MVP.
Yeah, Baker is the MVP.
At this moment, I do.
100% right.
Yeah. So then you got then. See what I mean? Like it's kind of like who have you got?
It's tough.
Richardson. He's not it, mate. Richardson. I understand that. I understand the kind of argument. Well, I mentioned, but he's not going to get a starting job anyway. He's just not. One, he's not durable. Two, he's awful as pass placement. His accuracy is awful. So that's why
you're a Gators fan. So.
Yeah, I was a Gators fan. He played for us. I know exactly what he's about. I told you he was going to be a bust before anybody else did.
Yeah, you did. You did. To be fair,
I said he looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. You know what I mean? He's one of them dudes. You know, so
Zach Wilson.
And again, he's another one that you could say started off, then dropped, and then come back up again. But again, has he got what it takes? I don't think he does. So as I say, so you're running out of ideas here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're looking at like a normal, like if you're looking at a quarterback who's normally a starter, and they're in the kind of mid to late 20s, they're normally starting, and then their backups are always some old guy. Do you know what I mean? There's some old guy with more experience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%, James. All these QBs make you really appreciate having JD5. 100%, man.
Agreed.
The first time we've had
I don't know about when the contract starts.
Yeah. Because then he's going to be held to another standard. It's going to be he's on 70 million a year.
Yeah.
He should be putting up 4 touchdown games, 300 plus yards every single time.
But
big pressure, big money. You know what I mean? So
it's so different, isn't it? And it's so different because I look at this team and I think, yeah, we're not perennial Super Bowl challengers right now. We had a really good season. We caught lightning in a bottle. But then I look at a team like the Bengals and I think you have absolutely wasted Joe Burrow. Wasted that man. This is a guy who should have been MVP last year.
To be honest,
he has, but with injuries. But all they've done is pay wide receivers. The rest of that team is woeful.
Because Burrow told the owners to do that.
I know.
To keep him happy. So now he's done that. He's got nobody else. He's got no O-line. He's getting here 5 minutes into a game. And this is the problem. You see, rule number one: if you've got an elite quarterback, protect the merchandise. Spend your money on a top offensive line.
Yeah.
And then one star player, as in receiver, or one great running back, or something that gives you the difference. Because when you got a quarterback who's elite and you give him enough time, he'll dice anybody up. It doesn't matter who they are.
Right, James. You know what's funny here is when we said, there you go, leave this on the screen, Scott. When you said try to get people off the ledge, there's your answer. It says we could be the next Bengals or the Ravens, etc. We could be. We very, very well could be.
And all that needs is what? One big injury.
Yeah. Look at the Bungles.
Lamar.
But the Bungles. Look at that's a bear off Rainbow. Look at the Bengals right now. Look at the Ravens right now.
It's been awful for years. Yeah. That's right, man.
Look at it right now. It's It's not the best. It's not the best.
It's mad, and I just think that's a great question to get back to Tim's questions. That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Because I don't think there's many guys who could do it. I think I'd be shocked if I saw anybody else do it. So it's one of them, man. It's one of them. It's hard.
We'll finish off Scout's predictions, mate. Are you gonna do one? What do you want to do? Do you want to leave it blank?
No,
to be decided.
We'll do
What's your prediction, mate?
I think we lose. I think we lose 34-24. I think we lose by 10. I think we get smoked.
I was going to go kind of 34 range, but I'm going to go 31-27. Loss. I don't think we win this game. Not in Dallas. 45-31 Cowboys. Wow. Big score.
It'd be a great game for the neutral to watch. Just watch some good offense because the defenses are shite, both of them. So it'll be interesting. No, look, now it'll be a fucking defensive game. It'll be like fucking 7-3 or something full time. You know what I mean?
6-3. Look, don't give me that. Do not ever give me that.
Oh, 2-0.
Wrong
2-0, mate. It's a safety, and that's all you get.
Safety.
Win 2-0.
2-1 with a 1 point safety.
I mean, nearly happened, but
yeah, I know. Don't ever give me that Jets and Broncos game ever again.
That was
please.
horrible, that mate. That was horrible, that game, bro. You see a lot. There's a lot of American fans on X all laughing, going, "I'm glad we give England the shit teams, the shit matches. we haven't got to put with it on prime time like Thursday night games."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, cheers, bro." Yeah.
Hopefully, it's better this weekend because I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to going down and watching it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, Scouse, that just about does us, mate. Thank you as always for being with me, mate. I really appreciate chopping out with you. We've had a good therapy session this week, haven't we? So all great. James, thank you for being with us. Scott,
see, even James knows. James knows Scouse talks legit stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The Jets prove me right once again.
Always dropping the knowledge. Jesse, thanks for being with us. Scott G in the chat. Thanks for everyone who put the questions in. Tim, Cam McDonald, everybody who's supporting the show. We really appreciate it. Please don't forget, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff on YouTube. And we will be back on next Thursday to discuss this Cowboys win.
Bye.